Safi, stop. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing really well. Today I'm just feeling motivated to make a video because it's finally spring. It's like 16 degrees today. We're having beautiful weather this week. I'm going to the barn for a few different reasons. I'm motivated to work with all three of the ponies. So I thought that it would be fun just to do a little barn vlog and kind of like update video because I haven't really filmed a proper video like this probably in 2 or 3 weeks, and a lot has happened in the last few weeks. I'm finishing up my work day, hop in the car, head out to the barn. I'm gonna work with Safi, and then I'm gonna bring Merlin in and groom him in prep for a bodywork appointment that he has at 5:30. We're gonna do that appointment, probably take about an hour, and then I'm going to ride Eve, and I'm gonna kind of give an update on both of them as I get them ready and work with them because some things have changed. I'm gonna leave this here for now, and I will catch up with you guys at the barn once I'm working with Safi, and as I work with each horse, I'll give you a little update on what they've been up to. So my phone says it's only 16 degrees, but my car is saying otherwise. 21. How crazy is that? For context, like not this past weekend, but the weekend before, it was like -17. Canada in spring. Like, what the hell? Do you see this? Do you see this, my friends? Grass. Spring has truly sprung. So I'm now at the barn, and I've actually just brought Merlin in because when I'm trying to work with Safi in the fields with him, he's a bit of a pain in the ass because he just wants to be with me. I'm gonna work quickly with Safi. She hasn't been doing much the last month or so. February and March I was working a lot on herd boundness and also reintroducing the bareback pad and mounting block. Kind of took a step back because the weather got really crappy. The ground was shitty and I just didn't have as much motivation to work with her. I've still been paying attention to her every time I come out, giving her treats, doing little like 1 to 2 minute sessions, reviewing targeting and things like that, but she hasn't done any concentrated training sessions in a while. What I have been doing is working on cooperative care with her, so grooming at Liberty, and it's a great time to do it right now because she's actually shedding a lot. So we're not going to work at all on herd boundness today. It's her first session in a while, so I want to ease back in slowly with something that we've been doing lately. Hopefully something that'll make her feel good because it is quite warm today. So this is kind of the state of our paddocks right now. You can see there's really muddy bits, but there's also bits that are starting to dry up a little bit, so that's encouraging. Hello, madame. Are you gonna come see me? Are you warm? Hi, darling. Hi, darling. I managed to get her up near the gate. You just have a drink. I'm first gonna ask her to target shedding blade. Touch. Good girl. Touch. Good job. So I mentioned a few videos ago that one of the things I'm working on is her letting me stand next to her without backing up, and that has actually really helped. Touch. Really helped with the grooming and the like cooperative care grooming at Liberty. And she's used to me standing there, so she doesn't move as much, which is great. Good job. Very good. Good job. Good job. So I was just doing some target training with her, and I didn't realize that my camera had stopped recording, so I'm not sure how much you missed, but I was saying that she's very timid about new things like this in a way that Merlin and Eve aren't. They are both very brave. So introducing something new like this, I'm hoping to be able to integrate target training into other things in a way that will help her gain some confidence. And me being down here for her is a little less threatening than me standing up. What if I make it longer? Very good, mommy. But you can see how she's timid. Very good. Yes. Even though she didn't go towards the target stick, she did take a step towards me, so I'm rewarding that. rewarding the curiosity. Even if she's not touching it, you have to build up slowly. Successive approximation. That was naughty. Good job. Something that's interesting with her with target training is normally once horses understand it, they start being a little more, I don't want to say aggressive, but enthusiastic with it. She's very gentle. Like she'll touch it, but she doesn't like boop it. Touch. Very good. You see what I mean about the enthusiasm? Touch. Good girl. So I'm going to end that session there. I'm probably going to come back a little bit later and do it again. So I didn't actually end up grooming her as much as I would have liked, but that was a really good intro to the target stick. Sometimes on nights where I have time, I'll do 2 smaller sessions with her versus like 1 big one, and I find it works really well. I would keep working with her a little bit longer, but I actually have to get into the barn to groom Merlin in prep for his bodywork appointment. So the question of the ages is what is up with this handsome dude. So he's now been back in work about a month and he's coming along really, really well. You would have seen in my 2 bringing him back into work videos that he has been a bit silly, just a little more unpredictable than I'm used to for him. But in the last 3 rides, he's really settled a lot, and I feel like with the warmer weather, he's settling more back into the Merlin that I am more familiar with. We've had a few more canters and he's been really good. Last weekend, so today's the 12th, on the 8th, we had the saddle fitter out and I got both his dressage and jump saddles checked, and thankfully both are all good. The dressage saddle didn't need any adjustments, and my jump saddle I just needed to narrow the gullet, which is great. He also had his first chiropractor appointment on the 23rd of March, which was just after the last video would have ended. The gist of it is that there was no major adjustments or issues needed, just a lot of typical young horse things. So that's great. So saddle fitter and chiro. Tonight he has his 3rd appointment with a friend of mine who does a different kind of body work than chiro, and that I'm having every 4 to 5 weeks. The chiro will be like once or twice a year as I think he needs it. And last big kind of update is that we've switched back to the bitless bridle because he was telling me in no uncertain terms that he did not want the bit in his mouth. So that tells me that he's either capping again, or some teeth are growing in, or he has a sharp edge or something. So he's going to the vet next week for his yearly jabs, and at the same time they're going to check his teeth. Theoretically, by the time I get back from Kentucky on the 1st of May, he will be able to be ridden in a bit and will really be able to get cracking on our summer training. Okie dokie, so it's now not many hours later, it's 7 o'clock. I was gonna do a proper ride on Eve, but it's so nice out, and to be honest, I really want to ride outside. So we're gonna test how wet the footing is out here. Merlin's appointment went really, really well. He was very, very focused for like the first half of it, and then the second half was kind of a struggle. He was just very distracted and not as focused, which is to be expected for a baby. The appointments tend to be, you know, an hour-ish long. It's very slow, gentle massage and energy work, which he really enjoys. But for a baby, it can also be hard to keep the focus for that long. Overall, I'm really pleased. He had a lot less tension, which is fabulous. Something that I do want to mention is that she's changed fields. So she was getting, I don't want to say bullied, but she just wasn't quite 100% happy. She's actually been moved, and she's with another one of the thoroughbreds that my coach adopted last year, and the babies. So here she is. Hi, girl. Are you gonna come see me? So I'm basically just gonna let her go where she wants to go. Very pretty evening, and I've got next to no contact. So we are going in here. But we're just gonna vibe, see how wet the ground is. It's actually surprisingly dry in here, which is great considering how like mucky the paddocks are. Horses just took off galloping up here, and she didn't really do much of anything except a little bit of, no, we're not going up the hill. We're not going up the hill, madame. Good girl. Hi, Safi. Hi, sweetness. Good girl, Eve. Are you going out here? It might be a bit wet, my love. Good job. Am I? Oh yeah, it's still quite wet. Good girl. Yeah, my love, it's wet. We gotta turn back. Well, you can't say we didn't try. And she definitely wants to go on a hack. But it's unfortunately still just too slippy out there. I'll just show you guys something that I'm actually working on out here walking her. I've only been on maybe 15 minutes and I'm not gonna stay on much longer. But I'm letting her, you know, explore her surroundings. But I'm also working on like steering from my seat because I would like to try some, I don't know if bridleless or tackless, but this steering that I'm doing, like her turning right now is all from my seat, which is pretty cool. And this is a lot of the work that I did with Merlin, slow, steady work over a period of about a month before I went bridleless with him for the first time. Good girl, Eve. Good job. And I still have a hand on the reins, but I'm not really moving them that much. Are you gonna go out to your pals now? Huh? Have a good night, my darling. Love you bunches. I went up to get my stuff because I'm gonna do another quick little session with Safi before I go. And she hasn't moved. Hi, my baby. What's up? You go rejoin your friends. I'm gonna try to see if I stand over here if she will come and join me. Merlin probably will. She was actually standing over mission accomplished. Well, not quite, but she's coming. Come on, my darling. What a good lady. I did forget the target stick, but that's okay. I'm hoping that Merlin stays distracted enough by the hay to leave us alone. Good job. Well done. So that was great. Now I want to go get some video back here at the back of the paddock of the sunset. So I'm going to see if she's going to follow me. We go on a little liberty walk. Are you coming? Good job. Good job. So she's stopping to think, but she quite often, when we go on these little walks, is she'll stop and think about it and follow me. She doesn't follow like consistently. She kind of stops and then follows like this, which is awesome. Good job, my doll. Good job. Well done. Safi, stop. Good. I had fun with all three of them tonight, but I'm particularly thrilled with the work that Safi produced. Good girl. And now they're all following. And I think my sign to end this session is that the two children, this one and that one, are coming to join. Hi, you. You look like you're on a mission. I'm going to bid you all adieu. Good night, good night, good night. So it is the following night, and you'll notice I'm in a short sleeve. The reason I'm in a short sleeve is because it's actually, or was, like 27 degrees Celsius today, with the humidity of like 31 or 32, which is insane. Our poor ponies with their winter coats probably were very warm. Now in her training going into the summer, I've planned on jump schooling her once a week. There will be a video coming out probably sometime next week or the week after with some clips of pole work and jump schooling with her. So that'll probably be on Sundays because I tend to have riding lessons on Saturdays. And then in my lesson last week, my coach, who is her owner, had me properly ask her for the connection, which I know I say like I've been working on connection with her consistently, but I haven't been asking her to hold it as consistently as I could. So in my lesson last weekend, we really focused on how to get her to keep the connection, but to allow her to make mistakes so that she understands, but not abandoning her, because me releasing the contact as quickly as I was before, when you're training them to go, to give them that release when they give is good. When you get to a point where you're trying to teach them to be consistent, it gives them mixed messages. And also for the thoroughbreds, because of the way that they're trained on the track, can make them feel quite insecure. So me keeping the contact will be vital to her understanding the consistency within that framework. So I'm going to get on. I've been doing about 5-10 minutes at the beginning of each ride, completely loose rein, letting her go as quick as she wants, power walking if that's what she desires. Today I have a feeling she's going to be a little lethargic because it is warm. Now it's like 21. I think I'm going to keep the ride to about 20 minutes, and I'm going to film it, and I'll do a little voiceover. So when I'm getting on Eve, I make sure to take my time, put my foot in the stirrup, hold myself there for a couple of seconds, and then swing my leg over, making sure that she stands still the whole time. Knowing how to stand still at the mounting block is an important skill for any sales horse to have. And considering the fact that she used to walk off every time I tried to get on, she's coming along really well in that regard. So at this point in the ride, I've already done about 5 to 7 minutes of walk on a loose rein, where I let her just do her thoroughbred power walk to her heart's content. So now I'm asking her to walk in connection and to stay there in prep for moving up into the trot. So you'll see I do smaller circles. This helps to give her an easier framework in which she can connect. Cut quite a bit of the walk out because it's quite boring, but basically I hold a steady contact on my outside rein. I have the outside rein against the horse's neck, so it acts as kind of a outside support and barrier from them moving laterally. And then while keeping my leg on, I'm also keeping a steady contact on the inside rein, but gently massaging, almost to the point where I'm not actually thinking about my fingers gently massaging the rein, but I'm just visualizing it in my head, which results in very subtle massaging of the rein on my part. Something that my coach really emphasized to me on the weekend was the difference between pulling and resistance, as well as the difference between softening and completely letting go and abandoning her, which is what I used to do in the past. So here I'm keeping my forearm soft, but I'm holding a little bit of tension in my upper arm so that I can soften with my forearm while still keeping a contact through the tension in my upper arm. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that's the way that my coach described it to me, and it's the way that makes sense to me. So you can see here how she is quite nice and soft and connected in the contact. She's a little bit mouthy with the bit, but as she gets more confident and consistent in the contact, I've noticed that that mouthiness tends to go away. A lot of people would slap on a flash as a remedy to the mouthiness or chewing or whatever, but I don't really believe in that anymore. So this was mistake number 1 of the ride. After she was so lovely and soft to the right, I decided to just change direction over the diagonal at the trot and go straight to work on the trot that way. What I should have done, and what worked really well in my lesson on the weekend, was to go back to the walk, establish the connection there, and then go up into the trot. So she's decent in these clips here. I cut the majority of the trot this way out just because otherwise this video would be super long, but you see how she is much more inconsistent in the contact this way, and then she starts kind of fighting it in a way and wants to go up into canter. So I let her go up into the canter, but as you can see, it gets quite chaotic for lack of a better word. So what I'm trying to do is to keep my seat light, keep a contact on the outside rein, but to give her her head with the inside rein. But unfortunately, when I'm in a lighter seat and when she's cantering, her steering is not as good. She's still unbalanced at the canter, but after a few circles she did start to settle into a nicer canter, and her steering was way better because she was more balanced. When she gets rushing in the sort of flatter canter that she would have been used to at the racetrack, it's really hard for her to balance herself around a turn, so I use a lot of like open inside rein, but it can still be tough. So her canter is definitely a work work in progress. Interestingly, to the right, as you can see here, she finds it easier to connect for a few strides, but she's way more rushy around the turns and runny around the turns, like you can see here. But once we hit the side where she has the wall to support, she's way more balanced. So as I record this, I have a riding lesson tomorrow, and I think I'm going to ask my coach if we can focus on the canter so that I have some tools in my toolbox to deal with things like this going forward and in the future. So we had a decent ride, and now we're just cooling out outside. Hi, Merlin. It is so much drier tonight. Yes, we might go in there after, my love. Just wanna walk a little bit further down here. We're not coming super far into the field because it's still a bit wet, but couldn't resist coming in and getting a quick little video. And there's ATVs in the forest, so we're being cautious. I just hose her down and put her outside. Never did I think I would be hosing down in April. In general, she was very good, especially to the left, or to the right, especially to the right, she was really, really good. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of letting her canter to the left. The left is the direction that she finds most difficult for connection. And on the weekend, we worked through it. I stupidly mistook her wanting to canter for her needing to express energy, when in reality, she was just not wanting to connect properly that way. In hindsight, I should have just walked and then started again. It's just the kind of thing that when you're in a riding lesson, you have someone to tell you when to push, when to give a break, when to let them canter. But that's a lesson for me for next time, to push just that little bit. But you can see how much more consistent she was in the trot to the left. Like, it's actually crazy the difference that that one lesson made. So now I just have to be consistent and doing the same thing the other way, in the way that we both find difficult. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this somewhat random mishmashy type video, a little bit of all three of the ponies and some important updates. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and like the video because it really does help me out. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye.